Poprzednio zobaczyliśmy, że Republika Południowej Afryki pełna jest skrajności. Za pięknymi widokami oraz możliwością obcowania z naturą kryją się problemy z bezpieczeństwem oraz energią elektryczną. Dziś kontynuujemy naszą podróż przez RPA oraz przez doświadczenia codziennego życia w tym kraju i zagrożenia z nim związane.
And when he reached there, he stopped there. He was robbed.
Yeah, I mean, we experienced some organized crime, we believe. I mean, we will get to that. But even without it, you did have this experience.
I was working from home, and that day I was supposed to go to my boss, meet him in the office. I was driving on the freeway, and that freeway has a limit of minimum 80 kilometers per hour. So it's not that I was slow, I was speeding. Speeding means within the limits. And I just saw something, flying towards my car. Maybe I was lucky that day. Maybe I was like a second or 2 seconds faster than that object that hit on my rear window. And because I was already in South Africa for 3 years, and I've read about things to do and not to do. So the immediate thing is like if something like this happens to you in South Africa, you should not immediately stop at the spot where it happened. Yeah, just go. So I had the sense to not stop there. I just kept on driving, even though my rear window was broken. I kept on driving to the next gas station, which was about 1 kilometer from there. Gas station is also the garage or the petrol pump. I stopped there, so I know the people are there. So I stopped there, and people came and asking me like, what happened? I explained them what happened. So I just stopped there to inspect my car. I called up my rentals, and then I also called up the local police station that this is what happened to me, and they asked me to come visit so I can report a police complaint. And yeah, it's basically more or less a very cashless country, so not many people carry cash. They are targeting people going to the office, especially for the laptops.
This is the story that Amit just told was similar to the story that we also heard from our Airbnb hosts in Cape Town, right? Irene told us the story that she had, and she said very similar thing, that it was maybe seconds. Like, they don't target your window to catch your attention. They target your window to hurt you so that your car, stops somewhere in the near area, right?
Yeah.
They were hitting her front window so that she gets hit in her head with the brick.
So that also tells you about, the timelines. This happened to me in Joburg. The similar strategy in Joburg 2 years ago. And then when we last spoke to this our Airbnb host, that happened in Cape Town just few months ago. So there is a format that everybody is following, not only in Joburg but also in Cape Town.
Now it seems criminals are targeting motorists along the N1 in Cape Town by hurling stones at cars. In recent weeks there have been 2 incidents, one of them fatal. Last week a PAL teacher died when a brick hit her husband's car on the N1.
Like the latest one near Sensory City, where they put obstacles on the freeway. And when the motorists tried to stop, they stoned the vehicle and endangered the life of that innocent lady.
RPA zmaga się z problemem przestępczości na drogach i nie mówimy tutaj o kierowcach przekraczających limity prędkości. Poza dosłownie paroma wiadomościami, które przedostały się do telewizji, niektóre z nich tutaj udostępniam, w prasie znaleźć można wiele historii. Przestępcy polują na kierowców, zarówno zwykłych ludzi wracających z pracy czy jadących na zakupy, jak i oczywiście na specjalne auta przewożące gotówkę z banków do bankomatów. Uderzają, powodując większy wypadek i krzywdę, a następnie rabują. I nie jest to niestety jedynie kwestia pojedynczych incydentów.
And also you keep hearing some reports from the news that even few days ago there was something like the shower of money, right?
So yeah, I'll tell you. There were a couple of news only last week. There were 2 news. One was in Joburg, where somebody tried to blow up the cash van that carries money from the bank to the ATM and
But,
to and fro. That van was blew up by the people who wanted to loot, and the guard and the person who was driving was injured and things like that. And very next day, there was another news from Cape Town where similar incident happened, but there was some police and then some security around, so they were not able to loot the van. But then van was blew up in such a way that money inside the van was all over the street, and the bypassers were like, they were like, there's a rain, there's a money rain. It's like a free money, and there was a rule of currencies and everything on the street. That happens like if you actually Google news on South Africa in Joburg or Cape Town or whichever city you are living in South Africa, you will see similar news like every week. Maybe not one or maybe two incidents a week.
like
Yeah.
severe incidents, you would
Severe,
say.
it has to be severe to be in the news. But that also tells you that you have to be like vigilant enough, and you have to be very street smart when you are walking on the street, in the mall, going to a public place,
Talking to people.
talking to people. You have to make sure you don't share too much of information which is not important.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also on that incident with the brick, or whatever it was that they broke your window with,
Yeah.
you said that you went to the police station at the end of the day, and like by what I remember from our previous conversations, it was pretty much only for like insurance purposes. Like police was like, okay, bye.
Explain. So, what are authorities planning to do to try and stop this criminal behaviour? Joining us now from our Cape Town studios is Western Cape Traffic Chief.
We're doing everything in our power from traffic side to make sure that our roads are indeed safe. That's why we're rendering a 24/7 service in the Western Cape, especially on all our national and main roads.
These things happens like on a frequent basis. So, like I said, security is one of the biggest business here because of the electric fences and everything around your properties and everything. Second big business is the insurance thing here. So, police knows that he's come here only to claim his insurance because there is a damage to my car. But so, they were like doing their BAU, like there was no reaction of any kind, like who did it, do you know, did you see the person, and what hit on your car. There were no questions of any sort. They just came out where I parked my car, they saw the window, oh okay, where it happened, do you know? Luckily I just pinned the location because I know police will ask for the location because it's required by the insurance company.
Only because of that. Probably if
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
for that.
No, it's not because they want to, track and catch this person who tried to do this.
Has there been any
Yes.
progress in investigating the death of the PAL school teacher who was killed when a rock was thrown through the windscreen of her husband's car?
Well, the investigation is still ongoing. The South African police services are busy with an in-depth investigation. At this point of time, we did not arrest anybody yet.
It's only because they know this person is here to claim the insurance. So even they know that I have to fill this certain form. I can even show you that form. Police knows that I am here only to claim the insurance, not to make any complaint or register any complaint against somebody who maybe was trying to stop my car
And
so he
kill
can loot me or kill me or whatever.
But as I said, these things happen any time of the night or day, and we cannot be everywhere. That's why we're asking our public, our motorists out there to come on board with us. If you identify any suspicious thing on our roads, for example, pedestrians on our roads, then we want you to make use of all our number in the Western Cape.
So that is not their primary thing. Their primary job is to just fill this report, get it stamped, give a copy, so I can claim the insurance.
Done and done.
Done. Yeah, that is how it works.
Yeah, so what happens on your birthday? Just before your birthday last year?
Yeah. So there's one more incident. Okay, this is it's a little bit of personal thingy. Like I told you, I'm from India and I'm here for last 5 years. And after this COVID thing and everything, I was like pretty much very close to my families back in India, and even some of the people who I was not in touch with. So they were like too friendly with me and this and that, and they were like, oh, your birthday is coming up, and so maybe, I don't know, they thought that I'm alone. I've got a lot of money and I'm a single person. So I don't know what was in their mind, but they were trying to plot me somehow.
Oczywiście zatrudnienie płatnego zabójcy to całkiem ekstremalne rozwiązanie, znane głównie z filmów. Nie jest to rodzaj zbrodni popełnionej na porządku dziennym. Co jednak przeraża, zorganizowanie takiego spisku na czyjeś życie nie wydaje się wybitnie trudnym zadaniem w RPA. Zespół badaczy z Uniwersytetu w Kapsztadzie wydał całą publikację na ten temat.
The title of the book is Hitmen for Hire, Exposing South Africa's Underworld, and it seems actually quite a dramatic title in the context of South Africa. When you think of hitmen elsewhere in the world, it's not really been something that has been part of the South African discussion, but in fact the phenomenon of hits and assassinations have become ubiquitous to parts of the criminal economy and the political economy in the context of South Africa.
So they were asking me about my whereabouts and things and all that.
Like exact address and all that.
Exact address, where I live, and like I mentioned about the security system and everything. So you need to know the code, or I must grant somebody to enter my apartment. So I can generate a code with a date. Even I can generate a code for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like Agatha is coming to my place from date 1 to date 7 of a particular month.
Mm-hmm.
So my cousins and my friends, whoever was in India, they thought that if we can target this guy, and maybe because it was a COVID time and there were a lot of people out of the business and jobless and everything, and they thought I've got a lot of money, so if we target him, we can maybe get his insurance, his pension, his whatever amount.
Like in movies, seriously, like in movies.
Yeah. So I somehow got into the trap because of their friendly nature and everything. And they were saying, they said that we are going to send you some gift on your birthday. So, and they wanted it to be a surprise. So they said, give us a window with a code and we will send somebody with the gift. So that was, maybe I was like stupid and I gave them the code, which I can't say it's a security breach, maybe it was my stupidness. But
I wouldn't say so. I mean, this was your family after all.
yeah, so maybe, but what happened afterwards, it opened my eyes that even if it's a family or friends or the people you trust, you should not be doing something like that if you want to be safe here. Even in this kind of apartment, with this kind of a security and everything.
This is to be stressed. These people were all this time they were in India. They plotted it all the way from India. They found somebody, right?
Yeah. So the way it looks like, they were in India. Now they have my address. Now they have the code wherein anybody can enter my apartment
Just
up to my door. I am very sure they don't know anybody in person in South Africa. So they somehow made some online contacts.
Tego typu zbrodnie zdają się być domeną zorganizowanych grup przestępczych oraz porachunków i gier ze świata polityki. Istnieją jednak korytarze, przez które przedostają się one też do świata zwykłych ludzi.
And they sent two people who looked like Nigerian guys. They entered my apartment. They were right up to my door.
They entered the area that your apartment was in, because it was also kind of the city within the city. So there was the complex of buildings with flats within where people were just living, right?
Yeah. So and they had this access code and everything. And then my cousins on that day, the day when they planned to kill me, they were like, it was an unusual hour because I know the pattern and the timeline, the time that we talk and everything. It was a very unusual hour and they wanted to talk to me and they were video calling me and they were like pressing on it like, you be on the video, we just want to see you, we just want to talk to you. It's a Sunday, your birthday is like in the next 2-3 days and we are sending you some gift and I don't know what. And these two guys were at my door with the gun, just with the intention to kill me.
You noticed that something is off. Not only the timings that your family was, calling you, but other things were off.
Yeah, so the one thing that was obviously that my family was calling me at an unusual hour, and they didn't even look like excited. If you are sending some gift to somebody and you are doing a video call, you have this look at the face, right? That look was not there, number one. Number two, I was just, curious, because from one of my bedroom window, I can see the apartment entrance. So I was like, if somebody is now here coming with the gift, which I thought so. So let me just look from the window what the gift is like.
And sorry, you also got the notification on your phone from the security system,
Yeah,
right?
so yeah, even if you have this code to enter the gate, I get a default SMS on my phone that you have a visitor arrived at so and so hour and it's on its way to your apartment. So I just went to my bedroom window just out of curiosity that from the outside, how does the gift look like? Are they carrying a box or something? But these were two guys, and I can see the approach towards my apartment, like from 50 meters from the parking to my place, where they can enter the apartment. And one guy was empty-handed. He was having nothing in his hand. Other guy he had his hand tucked in his the long kurta, and he had his one hand tucked and it was like heavy. You can just tell by the look that he's carrying some weapon and he's trying to hide something. And he walked like 50 meters is not like short distance, and towards my apartment, and they were looking left, right and everything, and they also noticed there is a CCTV camera. And then one guy looked at the camera and then he just did some gesture to the other guy, and they just walked out. So that gave me some kind of I don't know, I got some feeling that it's not right. And then obviously when you see that something wrong, extremely wrong, like that kind of a thing is going to happen to you, you get some kind of a signal.
Yes, I can't imagine that something like that could happen to me, to be honest. So the fact that you had this gut feeling is like seriously gut sent. Because again, I wouldn't.
Exactly. So yeah, it's some kind of a signal that I got that maybe I have to live more. And I could see it in the timelines of the video call that they are trying to make, and they wanted to make sure that maybe, I don't know, they want to see it live, that their plan is executed well or whatever. And then I had this flat, so-called, that I had this thingy that I can see it from my bedroom window who is coming to my apartment. I saw everything, and then they knocked at my door, and then I saw it from the eye hole, and then one guy was he was on the door. I could see another guy. He was hiding, like you see in the spy movie, he's hiding, they are just waiting for me to open the door. And I had this double door. One is obviously the main wooden door, which was locked pretty much well, and then there is a iron door which was also locked. So my immediate reaction was, when I see that, I just put my phones on the silent. I went to the bedroom and I was trying to keep quiet without making any noise, just so that they know that I'm not at home. They can knock and they can do whatever. I'm not answering the door. I'm not going there. It was very, very early in the morning, about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then and so when I went to my bedroom, I was even when I'm talking right now, I'm getting this goosebumps and shivers. What happened at that moment, that I now know that my death is just outside my door. I just open the door and I'm killed. And then I can't shout, because I don't know, if I shout, maybe they get violent.
You had no idea what the reaction would be, right?
And I could just see the gun that they were carrying. Maybe they even carry a hand grenade. You never know. If I shout, they just put a hand grenade in my apartment. Who knows? So I can't shout, I can't do anything. I just went to my another bedroom. Hello again. So I'm sorry to hear about your device failure, and then you lost the footages and everything. But never mind, the story continues. And so my immediate reaction was to just look up for some number for help. So I remember I see this police vans with their number on that, their helpline number. So that's the general number. So I called up that number, and then they asked me to look up for the local police helpline wherever I was staying. So I had to Google this again, like looking for a nearest police station and then go to their page and then look for the number, and then I called this number. When I called them, a lady police officer answered, and then I told her that I have a couple of guys at my door with the gun, which, like, if somebody is at your door with the gun, it's obviously it's with the intention of killing me. And then she said, oh, okay, where do you stay? Give me your address. So I gave her my address, my unit number, my apartment and everything. She's like, okay, can I have your mobile number so we can just call back to confirm that it's not a hawk's call or something and somebody is not playing a prank or something. So I was like, okay, take my number. And then when I started to give her my number, like 0742, that time she's like, oh, sorry, I cannot hear you. Did you say 7? Did you say 4? Did you say 6? I mean, I must have repeated my mobile number for like more than 5 times. And she's not able to figure out what I am saying. But when I gave her my address and all the details, everything was fine. I was like, why can't you understand my number? You have my address, at least just come to my place. I've got guys at my door right now. I need immediate help. And then she's like, oh, okay, then do you have your private security? Is your apartment guarded and all this? With securities? I said, yeah, we do have security. Then she's like, okay, just call them. And then she hung up. I mean, okay, it's understood that the immediate course of action is to get some sort of help from somewhere before even they can come to my place. They didn't even come to my apartment to check if this call was real or fake or is something happened there. I mean, just imagine the kind of police service we have that tells you about the security in this country. I mean.
But also for your case, you said that you did call the police, they hung up and all that. So did you try to call the security guys right away? Security guys of your area?
Because at that moment, like I told you, I was like shivering and everything.
Yeah, you were
Only thing I could think of is police, because in India we don't have this kind of a security and everything. And for us, like if you need help, you call the police. So my first reaction was to just call the police. This police was of no help. And then I thought, this security and these guys are at my door. They already passed the first level of security. Now what else can happen? And maybe I could have called them and maybe they would have helped me. But I was not in that kind of a mind frame after this disappointing response from the police. So if they can't help, then I was like, I'm helpless now. The only option for me at that time was to keep quiet, keep all my phone and devices on silent. So they think that I'm not at home. And these guys were at my door for like, you won't believe, for like 40 minutes. They kept knocking for like 10, 20, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then they were quiet, but they were still, because I was looking from my bedroom window, I had my curtains closed, and I was just watching them if they are going out or not. They left the building after 40 minutes.
And you were just staying at home and hoping that they will not try to break the window or something, right?
Yep, and I can tell you, I was almost like kind of having a heart attack, because I can die any moment. I'm trapped.
Yeah.
There is no police coming.
And do you recall if anything followed that? Because you must have filed a report at the police station in the end of the day.
I was very sure that this came from India. So I did an online complaint with my India Mumbai police, and they did take some action, but that is the other side of the world. We are just talking about South Africa.
Yep.
But South Africa police, on an emergency, you are telling them, somebody at my door, 2 people with a gun to kill me, and you are not attending that, then I don't know, there's no point of going to the police station with a complaint.
You should bring the South African operators here just so that people stop thinking 911 is like an instant solution. Because like South African, like they'll ask you questions. Like in America, they just go, someone's getting robbed. They're like, we're on our way. Like I heard with 911, even if you call them and then hang up, they'll come to check what happened. Which, I mean, I get it, but I'm also like, that's crazy. Whereas in South Africa, like if you had South African operators doing 911, like you'd call, and you'd be like, hello, there's a man at the park. And they'd be like, hello, can I help you? And you'd be like, yeah, there's a man at the park. And I'd be like, and? Be like, yeah, he looks really suspicious. Be like, okay, go talk to him. Ask him what he's doing. Ask him his name, what he's doing there. Be like, I'm scared of talking to him. Be like, okay, walk away then. Go away. Like, they would just be like, you go. Like, it's just, people here just like, the cops are going, no, the cops are not coming.
Who told you, Julie? Ella. She said she saw on the Facebook. Sorry, sir. No, sir. Jesus! 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 Jesus!